Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Creator Process. Today we are back with another graphic design tutorial. In this tutorial we're gonna learn how we can create out some amazing halftone effects using Adobe Photoshop. We're gonna create out these two amazing designs using filter gallery halftone patterns inside Photoshop. There are multiple number of ways to create halftone effects. We'll be covering mainly 4 different ways to create out these effects. The first one is using the filter gallery halftone pattern option. The second, we're gonna use the Pixelate color halftone effects. We're gonna use that. Third, we're gonna use grayscale bitmap option, and lastly we're gonna use the threshold options. So we're gonna cover each and every option and understand it in very in-depth way. So I'm going to be creating a series of tutorial on this, mainly on a halftone effects design and create out some amazing design concepts. In the previous video we have seen how we can create out some amazing text effect inside Illustrator using the transform options and few other attributes. In this tutorial we'll be creating this halftone effect. So let's begin with the designing process. So these are the two designs we're going to create. The first one is this and the second one is this. So let's create this design. So we're going to use the halftone pattern inside filter gallery. I'm going to open this image, open with Photoshop, right, and let's crop it first. So I want to make it a little bit smaller. So with the shortcut C you can crop the image, so just make it smaller and this much and enter. Right, once you have cropped, let's adjust the size. So I want it a little bit around 1000 pixels. So I'm going to go over here, image size, and change this to around 1100 and 1400 pixel, approx around that 1200. You can choose anything. Okay, and click OK. So once you have adjusted your size of your image, next we'll go to layer and let's convert this into smart object, just to make it a smart object. Now we're gonna change this image into black and white. So first step, change this into black and white. So we'll go over here and you can use black and white, or you can use hue saturation. There are two options. Let's choose hue and saturation first, and I'll just make the saturation to 0. That's all. It's now black and white. Now next I'll add levels just to adjust the contrasting value. So I want to make the dark little darker and the brighter portion little brighter. So let's go over here, adjustment and layer adjustment option, and we'll choose the levels. And here let's increase the darkness, okay, and increase the brightness little bit around this much, and let's adjust the central value like this. So we got this nice contrast in your image. Next let's add a new layer, right, and let's fill this up with a nice gray color. So we'll go to edit and go to fill. From here you can choose any color, black, white, or 50% gray. So let's choose 50% gray and click OK. So here we go, and convert this into smart object. Now why we have created this is we want to apply halftone effect using the blending options. The reason why we haven't applied directly to our image is because we want this to be customizable. You can change your image anytime once you have finished your designing, right? So that's why we are designing like this. So first off, we have converted this into black and white, then we increase the contrast level using the levels, and thirdly we have added a new smart object layer with a gray color, right? Now we'll apply our filter gallery. So we'll go to filter and click on filter gallery. Here there are lots of options, but we are looking for here is the halftone pattern. Just click on it, simple. So we have selected this halftone effect. You can choose any other options here. There are lots of filters here. So we're gonna choose the halftone pattern, this one, and let's adjust the size. So what we need over here is we need the smaller size for this. So we're gonna choose around 4, let's say here, and this one I'll just reduce the contrast a little bit. So you can increase the contrast value over here or decrease it, it's per here. And this one you can adjust the size of yours. There's a halftone square shape, so you can increase or decrease the size. So for now let's keep it to 4, and this one around 4, and let's click OK. Let's just check it out. And let's change the blend mode to, there are lots of other options, like you can choose overlay. For this I'm going to use the vivid light because it's nicely blended with our image. You can either choose hard mix also. This will give you that very harsh design. What we're looking for is softer version, so I'm going to choose the vivid light, right, and it has got that nice effect over here. if you find that the squares are a little bit bigger around here, you can just go into the filter gallery and reduce the size to 3 and click OK. So here we go, you got that nice effect. Now let's if you check out our image here, we have given a nice color here, so let's add that color as well. So I'm going to add a new this solid color right on the top, and let's pick a color. So I'm going to choose some bluish greenish tint. So I've got a color code over here. Let's type that out, 17659C. Okay, and click OK. And after changing that color to bluish tone, let's change the blend modes. Now we'll go over here and change the blend mode to, you can choose multiply to give that darker tone. While right now we need a brighter one, so we'll choose screen. And here we go, we got that nice effect. And if you want to do a little bit more adjustments with the color, you can do that using the curves. Like you want to make it a little bit darker, you can go over here, or you can directly double click on this solid color and just go over here and choose adjust the color as per your comment, little darker or brighter, it's your need, right? That. And now as you can see, we have created this nice image. Lastly, we'll add some nice text over here. So let's add that text. Let's draw a square shape, place it around here and fill this up with the white color. Okay, we'll create one more duplicate and Command T, scale up the size, enter. Let's type out a few text over here. Type out our text, Photoshop, filter, gallery. Okay, place it around here, Command T, scale down the size, halftone pattern. Okay, and let's scale up the size. I'll create one more duplicate and here we'll type photo effects tutorial, scale down the size. Now let's change the fonts. So I'm going to select the first one, right? With the text tool selected, we'll go over here and choose Avenir medium. Okay, and let's choose some little bit thicker black. Okay, Command T and scale down the size a little bit and place that around there. Choose the text AVE and choose some black color and place it around here. Scale down the size a little bit and just create a duplicate and place it around here. And let's say you have applied dotted one, DOTTED dotted, and change the color. And this one, text, change the color to white. Okay, here we go. Now let's look at what else you can do with this image. So as you can see, we have applied these text, everything. The main thing is this one. Applying this filter gallery to this smart object of 50% gray color. You can bring in any other image. Let's say you want to bring in some other image, this image. Okay, and I'll just scale up the size. As you can see, it's nicely applied to this image as well. The effects, very simple, right? And that way you can apply, or you can even change this color from here. Double click and just play around with this color here, adjust the color, and you'll get nice effects over there. And if you want to change this as well, this under halftone effect, you have got some pattern type. Here we have applied it dotted. You can apply lines as well. If you click OK, you can see we have given that nice line effect, right? And this can be adjusted using the levels. You can go over there and adjust the levels just to make it thicker or thinner as per your requirement, something like this. Isn't that interesting? Very easy. Now I would prefer the dotted one, and there is one more, circle, and this one you can go over here and just adjust the position. You want to keep this center around here, or click OK, and here we go, nice effect over there. So it's an amazing option over here, halftone pattern. You can use it to any image of your desire and you can get some interesting designs, something like this. So just place it back to my original design, and I'll just adjust the levels as per my need, something like that. And here we go. Now let's look at our second design. So this is the second design we're going to work on. In this, we're going to use the same two option, that is the halftone pattern. Along with that, we're going to use a few more attributes just to enhance our design. So let's create this. It's going to be very simple. Let's open my image for this. So I've got this image, open this in Photoshop, right? Very simple. And now let's crop this first. So I'm going to crop it out as per my need. So I'm going to use the C for crop tool. Shortcut is C, press C and you got this crop option, and enter. Here we go. Now let's adjust the image size as well. I'll go to image and image size. This one I want to give a little bit bigger. Let's say around 2000 pixels. So I'm going to increase it to 2000 pixel, around this much, and click OK. And here we go. We got that image. Nice image. Now let's apply the halftone effect. So to apply that, it's the similar steps. So I'm going to layer and add black and white. And this time I'm going to use this black and white option. Very simple, right? And you can use the default, or you can choose any other color from here, green filter or maybe maximum dark. So as per your need, I'll just choose the maximum dark. Now let's add level. So I'm going to go over here and choose level, and let's increase the level value. So let's keep the level, increase it around this much, or maybe a little bit more, right? And let's increase this brightness a little bit, and this one will adjust the darkness. So now just keep it this way for now. Now let's add our new smart object layer. So I'm going to add a new layer and fill this up with 50% gray. So we'll go over here, edit, and fill it up with 50% gray color. Choose 50% gray and click OK, and convert this into smart object. Very simple. So let's apply our effects. So we'll select the layer and go to filter, filter gallery. Here let's choose the halftone. So here under sketch you get this halftone effect. Very simple. You can choose the halftone, and let's do the adjustments. So for this image, what we need is we need this size to be a little bit bigger. So let's increase the size a little bit, around let's say 7, right? And increase the contrast as well. So let's increase the contrast, and we want this to be dotted as well. So I'm going to click it OK, and let's see the effects by convert this into for this we're going to use the hard mix. With the vivid mix, you can see it's nicely blended, but for this design, as you can see in our image, you can see there is darkness and there's brightness, and between them there's a very harsh blend. So to get that harsh blend between your effects, so you want to use hard mix. So I'm going to use hard mix, right? And let's adjust the level value. So I'm going to just double go in there, and let's increase the brightness around here a little bit. Okay, you can see, and increase the darkness much more, something like that. Now let's add few more effects to this. So I'll go to filter gallery, right? And next thing I want to add is tone effect. So here you can see tone edges. Just click on that, right? But before that, we're gonna add new layer. So you can add multiple number of filter layers inside this. So the first one is halftone pattern. Let's click on plus, and this will add a new effect, and we can change this into tone edge. So this will add it to our halftone pattern. So we're gonna adjust the values here. So let's adjust the image balance, so you can increase and make it a little bit darker. Let's reduce the contrast, right? And the smoothness, let's adjust the smoothness as well. So I'll set it around this much and this much, and click OK. Let's see what else we got. Now once you have added that filter, as you can see, it has got a little bit more darker. Let's add one more filter to this to add some noise. So I'm going to add a new effect here and add reticulation to this. So we got 3 effects. First one is halftone, second is tone edge, third one is to add under effects. So this way you can add multiple number of effects on top of each other and to create some interesting design. So we'll see it in this image as well. So let's go to reticulation. Under this you got some options: density, foreground level, and background level. So let's reduce the foreground level, background level to 0, and increase the foreground level to around, let's say we want to increase it to around 43, and let's adjust the density value. So we'll adjust the density as per your needs. Let's say I want it a little bit noise, a little bit less noisier. So click OK, and here we go. We got that nice noise effect. Now let's adjust it the level. So I'll go over here and increase this. Yes, something like this. Increase this bright value, something like that. And okay, so as you can see, we are getting that nice look over here, something like that. We want some bright over here and darkness over there. Let's zoom it out, and you can see that if you compare with our design image, you can see that yes, something like this. And let's compare this with our image now. Yes, something like this. If you want to increase the size a little bit, I'll just go in there and under filter gallery, selecting halftone pattern, let's increase the size a little bit, around let's say 9, and click OK. And here we go. We got that nice effect there. adjust the, go inside level and just keep on adjusting your values. Okay, something like that. And I think this looks great. This is the output which I'm looking for. We got that nice pattern. If you zoom it in, you can see we got that nice halftone dotted effect. Then we added that tone pattern. So using that tone effect, you got that nice distorted design. And lastly, you can see this nice noisy effect using the reticulation options. Now next thing, we're gonna add some color. So I'll go to over here and add solid color, choose red color and click OK and change the blend mode to, let's say, multiply. Yeah, if you choose screen, you'll be a little bit brighter, but for this we want the overall color to be red, so I choose multiply, and you can go in here and increase the brightness a little bit, something like that, and click OK. And now let's create this cover design. So it's very simple. What I did is I just used the crop tool, selected, I'll just increase the size around here for the text part, enter, right, and let's add a text. So let's type out halftone, 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 and let's change the color to black. So let's increase the size and place this on top of everything, right? And let's change the color to black and change the text to like Roman times Roman. Okay, and let's choose bold. Let's add a dot over there, right? And I'll place this around here and scale this size. So with the shift press, just extend it and make it longer, make it a little bit longer, downward as well. And as you can see, it's looking amazing, right? Something like that. Just fill this entire space with the text and just scale down a little bit as you need. And now let's add a nice details to this. So I'm going to use the line tool from here and just click and drag and create one line there. Remove the fill color and apply stroke color and increase the stroke thickness and change this to thick line and reduce it a little bit, something like around 6, 7. You can see that line, right? I'll just click and create one more duplicate and place it one around here, and I'll add one star over here, a small star shape there. So I'm going to use the polygon tool to create a star. So it's very simple. Well, you can just go over here and go to polygon tool, right? Click over here and edge the, so if you want to create a star, you can use this, you can create star using polygon option here. So make sure your width and height is around 50 pixel by 50 pixel. Just keep it that way. And the number of sides, let's keep it, you want a star with 5 sides, click 5. You can give 9, 10, any number of sides you want to your polygon. So I'll keep it around 5. And and this one, star ratio, if you keep it to 100, you got a nice polygon shape. Let's see, you can see, I'll just fill this up with some random color just to show you that. Okay, so you can see this is a nice polygon. Now if you do the same thing, right, and reduce the star ratio to 45, you can see, so we got this nice starry shape. If you click over here and reduce the star ratio to 10, it will make it a little bit more like converging toward inside, just like this. So this option will help you create a star, how much surface area you want inside your star. Let's say you want a 70%, you got a thick star. So for now, what I need is I want this this one, but with 4 sides. So I'll just go over here, click, set it to 4, keep it to 45% and size the same. So we got that nice 4-sided star. I'll just scale down the size a little bit. Okay, and enter, and we'll place it around here. So rotate the side, Command T or Control T, and just place it there. Very simple. Scale down the size a little bit more, and let's change the color. So I'll go select this and remove the stroke color and fill this with black color and remove the stroke color. Now I'll create a duplicate. So I'll just create one more duplicate of this and place one around here and another one around here, and here we go. We have created our second design as well. Very interesting design. There's one more thing I want to show you in this tutorial. That's the same thing with the filter gallery. So let's say you want to add some different effects to your image. So let me show you an example like this. So I'll just go over here, this image which we have created just like right now, and I'll just hide this one and place this one. Now we'll go to filter gallery. Make sure you got that halftone effects perfectly designed. So a halftone effect should be there. Then we'll add new layer and we'll add a glass effect, right, something like that, and increase the intensity around there and click OK, and here we go, nice effect there. And let's adjust the opacity value to around, let's say 90%, and let's change the color to something purpley, something like this, and make it a little bit darker. And here we go, we got that nice image design using the filter gallery glass effect there. So we have got this nice interesting photo effect inside Photoshop using the halftone patterns and filter gallery. So in the next video we're gonna be working on more halftone design concepts using Photoshop, and we'll understand few more other attributes and options you can use to create amazing halftone effects. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to check out the next tutorial coming up, and if you want more updates on designing, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.